When you're factoring with two variables, you're using the same concept as when you would just have one variable, except you have two. So we'll go through this. You're going to take the same approach, and you kind of want to put this into factoring by grouping format. So we are going to multiply the first and last terms together. So 3 times -10 is -30. Now we want to find two factors of -30 that add up to the middle term, which is -7. Okay, and so we're going to start with our basic factor, which is 1. So we have 1 and 30. 1 plus 30 is 31. 1 minus 30 is -29. So that doesn't work. So now we'll try 2 and -15. So 2 minus 15 is -13. So we're still not there. So let's do 3 and -10. And as you know, 3 minus 10 equals -7. So we're going to put this in factoring by grouping format. So we have 3c squared minus, we're going to use these two terms here. So we'll go plus 3ch. We want to use the same variables that we have right there. Minus 10ch. Again, we're using the same variables. Minus 10h squared. Now, if you've done your factoring by grouping correctly, if you add these middle terms, you'll end up with the middle term in your original. So we are going to now factor these by grouping, which means that we're going to first look at this set of terms, and then we're going to look at this set of terms. So focusing first on this set of terms, our common factor in those two terms is a 3c. If we pull that out, we're left with c plus h. The common factor in these two terms is a -10h. So if we pull that -10h out, we're left with c plus h. Now notice the sign change here. If we have a negative and a negative, that gives us a positive. We're dividing that out. So when we divide two negatives, we end up with a positive. You'll know that you've done this correctly if you end up with these as same terms. So now we're going to factor out the like terms in these, which is c plus h. When we factor out the c plus h, we're left with 3c minus 10h. And that's what that is in factored form. If you want to check this, you would go through and FOIL it out. So we can FOIL this out by multiplying our first two terms, which are 3c squared. And remember, you're doing FOIL. So now you're going to look at your outside terms, which gives you -10ch. Then your inside terms, which is 3ch. And then your last terms, which is -10h squared. So if we combine these like terms in the middle, we end up with 3c squared minus 7ch minus 10h squared, which is our original trinomial. So your answer to this in factored form is c plus h times 3c minus 10h.